One day, Morph was very late getting out of bed. He felt very tired and listless, and he really wasn't feeling his usual bright and happy self. You don't look too well. Never mind. I expect it'll soon pass. What do you mean, never mind, said Morph crossly, and went slowly through the table. I don't feel very well, said Morph. Never mind, said Chas. You look awful. He is awful. But no one took any notice of Delilah. Said Grand Morph. Well, in my opinion, he's suffering from hypercongestion of the respiratory passages with inflammatory complications. Oh, the poor darling, said Folly. Weakling, said Delilah. Put him to bed. I'd better send him a card. There he is in bed, and I'll write "Get well soon" on it. But he didn't get well soon. His temperature just went up further. Chas changed the hot water bottle and the ice pack. Delilah kept giving him medicine, and everyone rushed about fetching things. Morph lay there, still and pathetic. Meanwhile, the others were quite exhausted, what with all the rushing about and the nervous strain, and they all just collapsed. And then, Morph got better, but the others were too tired out even to notice. Hello, Morph. I'm glad to see you're better. Did you have a nice rest? Well, never mind. Good night, Morph. Sleep tight. One night, Morph had a most amazing dream, and it woke him up. Then he thought, how amazing! I'd better write it all down quickly before I forget it. Now, I wonder if I can work Grand Morph's word processing machine thing. Course I can. And he went down under the table to get Chas to help him. But Chas didn't seem very interested. Come on, wake up, said Morph. I need some help. Come on. Oh, would you believe it? I know. Food. They hadn't used the word processing machine for a long time, and they couldn't quite remember how to work it. Switch it on, said Chas, giving him the switch. Oh, give it here. You go and get Grandmorph. Off you go, said Grandmorph. What's the matter? I've forgotten the dream. You've forgotten it? You wake me up, drag me out of bed? Ah! Where's he gone to? He forgot. How could he forget? Ah, I'm going back to bed. And so am I. Can't you remember anything at all about the dream? Well, never mind. Go back to sleep and see if you can dream it again. Good night, Morph. Sleep tight. One day, while Morph was knitting himself a scarf, Delilah lost her glasses. She'd put them down somewhere, but she just couldn't remember where. I haven't got your beastly glasses, said Morph. No, I haven't seen your glasses, Delilah. Where were you when you lost them? Yes, I suppose it was a silly question. Meanwhile, under the table, Grandmorph was having his hair cut by Gillespie, while Delilah looked everywhere for her glasses. Grandmorph was very upset. No one remembered seeing him quite so upset, not ever. "I'm going," said Grandmorph. "I'm going to bed. For 6 months." And he went. "There's only one thing to do," said Morph. "We'll have to make him a new one. We'll all make beards, and he can choose the best." Some time later, they showed their inventions to Grandmorph, but they weren't very successful. "He didn't like it," said Delilah. "Nor mine," said Chas. "I offered to shave off the rest of his beard," said Gillespie, "and look what I got." But it was Morph who had the best idea after all. "It's my knitted scarf," said Morph. "I just told him it was the latest fashion." "Has anyone seen my specs?" said Delilah. But luckily, this time she found them again, inside her beard. "Good night, Delilah." "Good night, Morph. Sleep tight." One day, when nothing much was happening, Gobbledygook arrived bringing some pictures to show to the very small creatures. He'd promised to tell them all about the distant planet where he lived. Morph didn't know what was going on, of course, because he couldn't understand Gobbledygook's strange language. But the very small creatures understood, and they were very excited. Morph didn't like being left out of things. "What's up, Grandmorph?" he said. "Gobbledygook's giving a film show, so I'm going to put on my old home movies. They're very funny, you know." So they all went in to watch. The very small creatures were obviously enjoying every moment of it, but Gobbledygook's lecture did seem to go on for a very long time. The others were totally mystified and found the whole thing quite incomprehensible. But at long last it came to an end, and after the interval, it was going to be Grandmorph's home movie. Would I read the commentary over your film? Well, 'tis a bit small, but I think I can manage. You go and put it on. Many years ago, Grandmorph thought he might go on the stage as an actor. But then, along came little Morph. Here he is, fast asleep in his cradle, and here, taking his first stumbling steps. He was a very sweet and contented baby, quite unlike Morph as he is today. In those days, he laughed and gurgled and had such a sweet little smile. Well, most of the time, anyway. Say ta-ta to the nice people, then. Ah, the poor little thing was frightened, wasn't he? And here he is going for walkies. Whoopsie-daisy. Oh, well, I think it's time you were all in bed anyway. Good night, everyone. One morning, everyone was up very early. There seemed to be a lot of bustle and activity and rushing about and, well, crashing into things. It woke Morph up, and he wanted to know what was going on. And then he remembered. Of course, it was his birthday. Do you know, it's my, Oh. Chas was bringing in the Morning Post. I say, anything there for me? Only a bill, said Chas. Where's my birthday cards, he thought. Gillespie, are those for me? I say, Delilah. They can't have forgotten, can they? They have forgotten. What's going on then? Delilah was getting very flustered. Gillespie, for heaven's sake, take him off and play a game or something. Oh dear, said Folly. I am glad we don't have birthday parties every day. Eggs! Eggs! Screamed Delilah. Where's the eggs? I don't know what's wrong with everyone. 'Tis my birthday, you know. Hey, Tony, I said it's my birthday. Oh, many happy returns. One would think people would remember one's birthday, wouldn't one? Would one, said Gillespie. One'll get a black eye if one isn't careful. Oh, I'm fed up. I'm going for a walk. Downstairs in the kitchen, it was chaos. Would they ever be ready in time? Morph walked about, trying to pretend he didn't mind. What's a birthday after all, he thought. And it was nearly tea time by the time he returned. Many happy returns. Come under the table. Good night, all of you. Sleep tight. One day, Morph and Chas were having a quiet game of cricket together. Morph had a long innings, stylishly defending his wicket. But at last he got careless. Chas sent down a lob. Morph took a swing at it and... Chaz thought it was about time to liven the game up a bit. While they were thinking, Delilah thought it was time they did something useful for a change. She said she'd only got one pair of hands, hadn't she? And if they wanted to play, they could jolly well play a game of polishing the floor. All right, said Morph, we will, which rather surprised Chaz. Morph helped him up again. There you are, Grand Morph. Sit down. I say, can we have our bat and ball back, please? No, said Grand Morph. Go away. What's the matter with you two? I see. Now, off to bed, all of you. Go on. Grand Morph, I'm surprised at you. You really ought to know better, you know. Oh, good night, Morph. Sleep tight. One day, Morph found a book all about dowsing. That's a way of finding things buried under the ground, using a pair of bent coat hanger wires. How does it work, Morph? You hold the wires side by side, and when they cross, you've found what you're looking for. I see. I think. Under the table, Grand Morph was repairing the soft drink machine which had broken down. Yeah, mustn't lose the swaddle flange. It'll never work without that. Now, where's that pipsqueaker bypass? Would you like one of my cakes, Grand Morph? Said Delilah. She was trying out a new recipe, iced rock cakes, made with ground granite. No one seemed very keen to try them, though, except Chaz. He was always hungry. Just one little one, he pleaded. Just one, please. Chaz was always thirsty, too. But the soft drink machine still wasn't working. So, He had to make do with more rock cakes. Where's my swoggle-flange thing? I thought I put it down there. Have you seen it? I'll find it for you, said Morph. Leave it to me. Morph started to search everywhere. He found something, but it wasn't the swoggle-flange. A penny. All right, you can keep it. Hey, careful, Morph. Look out! Morph put the swoggle-flange back in its place, and so the soft drink machine was working perfectly again. And Delilah tried to teach Chaz how to eat rock cakes properly and politely. Good night, all of you.